Have you ever heard of someone who died years ago in a particular place, being seen in a new place, as a new person, living a new life, still alive? My people, I am going to be telling you the story of Mama Agnes, a woman who died in a place called Amakohia in the heart of southeastern Nigeria, and how she was seen working in a boarding school as a cleaner in a place called Ecolobia. So fasten your seatbelts in preparation for this mind-blowing, jaw-dropping story. In a quiet boarding school located in the heart of southeastern Nigeria was a cleaner known as Mama Agnes. She moved through the school like a shadow, quietly sweeping, mopping, and tidying up the hallways and classrooms. No one ever saw her interact with the students or staff beyond brief greetings. She was secretive, always keeping to herself, rarely making eye contact with anyone. But there was something about her, something unsettling that intrigued the students. One day, a new student, Nneka, arrived at the school. Her mother, an accomplished businesswoman, had just enrolled her in the prestigious institution. Nneka was a quiet, serious girl, not one to easily make friends. As her mother stepped out of a luxurious car to help her settle in, Nneka noticed Mama Agnes standing near the entrance, holding a broom. Without any warning, Nneka's mother froze, her face draining of color, her eyes widened in horror. "Mama!" Nneka's mother screamed, her voice shaking as she pointed at the cleaner. Nneka, startled, turned to look at the woman her mother was now staring at with such terror. But before anyone could react, Mama Agnes vanished into thin air, disappearing without a trace, as though she had never been there at all. The entire scene seemed surreal. The whole school gathered after the incident. Nneka's mother, still in shock, was trying to compose herself. The headmaster, who had worked at the school for years, was visibly confused, unable to understand what had just occurred. Nneka stood quietly, sensing that something far deeper was unfolding. That evening, after much insistence, Nneka's mother invited the headmaster to the guest room where they had given her after the incident. The two sat across each other, and she began to share a story no one had ever heard. She spoke of her mom's late husband, Chidera, a wealthy man she had married many years ago in the town of Amakohia. They had lived a life of luxury, but it had come at a terrible cost. Her name was Ugochi, not Mama Agnes. Nneka's mother explained that Ugochi had once been a beautiful, vibrant woman, full of life, full of love. She had married Chidera, a man of great wealth and influence in Amakohia. Their wedding was grand, and their life together appeared perfect from the outside. But behind closed doors, the marriage was toxic. Chidera, though outwardly charming, was violent and cruel. He controlled Ugochi's every move, demanding obedience and belittling her at every turn. But despite everything, Ugochi had loved him deeply, perhaps too much. One fateful night, Ugochi had been found dead in the house. Her death was ruled an accident. She had fallen down the stairs while rushing to escape a violent confrontation with Chidera. But the truth was far darker. Ugochi had died from the brutal beating Chidera had inflicted upon her. He had struck her in a fit of rage, and she had fallen to her death. Nneka's mother spoke of how after Ugochi's death, Chidera's life had spiraled into ruin. Guilt plagued him, but no one ever learned the truth of how Ugochi had died. Her family, her friends, all believed the lie that it had been an accident. Ugochi's soul, unable to find peace after such an untimely and violent death, wandered in anguish. It was said in Igbo tradition that when someone dies unjustly, especially a woman, Her soul becomes restless, unable to rest or move on. Ugochi's spirit, tormented by unresolved anger and sorrow, could not accept the fate she had been forced into. She began to haunt Amakohia, unable to pass on, until one day she encountered a powerful spirit medium who told her the truth of her fate. "You cannot rest here," the medium said. "You must leave this place and seek peace far away, in a place where no one knows you and no one can remind you of your pain." Ugochi's spirit was reborn in a different town, far from Amakohia, in the form of a woman named Mama Agnes. The woman who was now Mama Agnes lived a simple life, working as a cleaner, never forming deep relationships and keeping to herself. She had a job to do and she did it well, always vanishing from any place where someone might recognize her. Mama Agnes had been moving from place to place for years, never staying long enough for anyone to truly know her. But then she arrived at this boarding school. She wasn't seeking anything in particular, only peace, though she didn't know how to find it. But as soon as Nneka's mother saw her, the past came rushing back in a flood of memories. As Nneka's mother stood there, staring at Mama Agnes, her heart began to pound. The woman before her, this silent, ghostly figure, was Ugochi, her late lost love. She recognized the posture, the way she moved, the faint sadness in her eyes. It was as if time had stood still and the horrors of the past had resurfaced. In that moment, Nneka's mother realized the truth. Ugochi had not died. She had never truly left. Her soul had lived on, wandering, searching for peace. She had been reborn as Mama Agnes. Later that night, Nneka's mother gathered the courage to speak to the headmaster and share everything. The story of Ugochi's tragic death, the rebirth of her spirit, and how the soul of her late husband had been cursed to wander forever. She explained that the moment someone who knew her saw her, Ugochi's spirit would flee, always in search of a new beginning. But why here? Why now? The headmaster asked, his voice filled with wonder and dread. I don't know, Nneka's mother whispered, but I think this is where she's meant to confront her past. The next day, Mama Agnes reappeared at the school. She found Nneka and her mother. Her face was as sorrowful as ever, but this time there was a glimmer of recognition. Slowly, she began to speak, her voice soft and trembling. She confessed the truth. She was Ugochi, trapped in this new life. She could not rest, and every time someone who had known her from her past life saw her, she would disappear, vanishing to start a new life somewhere else. Nneka's mother stood before her, eyes full of tears. Is there anything I can do? She asked, voice shaking. Mama Agnes or Ugochi looked at her with deep sadness. You cannot save me, not in this life. I have wandered too long. All I can do is disappear again and start over, always searching for peace until it finds me. And with that, she vanished once more. To this day, no one knows what became of Mama Agnes. Some say she returned to Amakohia, where her soul first began to unravel. Others believe she found peace at last, her spirit freed from the chains of her past life. But for Nneka's mother, the pain of losing her mother twice was a wound that would never heal. Every year, she remembers the woman who had once been her everything, the woman she would never truly be able to save. My people, this is a story of pain. Domestic violence in all its form is really cruel, and it is better to live than to live. I don't know if you get that. Thank you so much for tuning into the story once again. I am going to be seeing you in my next mind-blowing, jaw-dropping story. For now, do well to like this video, leave a kind comment, tell me what you think about this. Have you ever heard of this? Do you know anyone that's experienced seeing someone who died a long time ago in another place? Subscribe to this channel, share this video, and I'm going to be seeing you next time. Bye bye.